Hey two-wheel adventurers, and welcome back to the channel. So recently I spent an awesome weekend at the very first MXstore Ride More Adventures, hosted by Endeavour Motorcycle Tours. Now it was an epic weekend of riding with some absolute legends, as well as learning and practicing some new skills which will make my own future adventures even better. I made the journey down from the Gold Coast to the Mount Seaview Resort, located west of Port Macquarie and smack bang in the middle of the Great Dividing Range. A great spot for some amazing adventure riding. Come along for the fun and stick around to see how you can get yourself onto one of these awesome adventures. So this weekend of riding was aimed at beginner to intermediate level riders. Now I was checking out what bikes everyone had, and there was a good mix of everything. Different brands, different capacities, so it was pretty cool to see the lineup. And the great thing about this weekend was that the food and accommodation was all sorted as part of the weekend, so I really only had to worry about turning up with a bike and I was good to go. After a good brekkie provided at the resort to start the morning, we all got geared up and headed off for a quick rider's briefing from the crew at Endeavour. Now Endeavour Motorcycle Tours is owned by Kai and Leslie and based on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Both Kai and Leslie are super keen adventurers, and Kai is well experienced in the world of enduro racing, so I'm super keen to be run through some training drills by someone with that level of experience. Day one would mostly be made up of coaching lessons, going through everything from bike setup, rider positioning, cornering techniques, braking techniques, and even some log hopping practice. And then the day would finish off with a short trail ride to a pretty specky lookout on the property. So after a few quick lessons around bike setup and rider positioning to start the morning, it was now time to head off to some farm paddocks and get into some riding. Now guys, if you've followed the channel for a little while now, you'll know that I've done my fair share of adventures, but I'm in no way a professional. It was really cool here to be able to run through some basics of riding and just practice the techniques in a bit of a closed environment here. Not something we really get to do out on our adventure rides, being on public roads and all of that, so it's pretty rare to take the same corner or section of track twice in one day. As the morning wore on, I found myself becoming more confident and a little bit faster with my cornering. A weekend like this would have been super beneficial when I first got into adventure riding around about 5 years ago, but even now I feel like I really got a lot out of this. While all of us riders ran the drills, Kai would bounce around the group, answering any questions that we had, as well as pulling riders aside for some one-on-one advice so we could all try and really perfect our techniques. Sometimes it might be the smallest little change in technique or mindset that changes absolutely everything, so it was really awesome to learn from Kai and put those techniques and skills into practice straight away. After a good couple of hours running through coaching drills, it was time for the famous Endeavour Motorcycle Tours lunch, and what a great spot for it, right on the beautiful Hastings River that runs through the property here at Mount Seaview. Now the team put on an awesome spread to fuel all of us riders for the action-packed afternoon to come. So after lunch, there was a few more training drills to get through. We worked on some off-camber turns for a little while, and then it was off to the dreaded logs, something that catches out a lot of adventure riders, including myself.
As easy as that.
But after being shown the correct technique to tackle logs like this, everyone was really confident to give them all a crack. I ended up having a go at the second largest log that we had here, and I was pretty pleased to get the job done, but the largest one here looked a little bit too much for me, so maybe next time I'll give that one a go. But it was really awesome to see everyone have a crack, even some of the guys on the larger capacity bikes. So after a bit of log hopping fun, confidence was now high in the group, and it was time for the afternoon trail ride up to this lookout. Now along the way, Kai would stop at certain points on the track and explain how the training drills we did earlier in the day would help us out on these sections, and then we could all put them into practice.
and pick and choose your line as you go.
It was a really good ride up to this lookout. Everyone had a blast, including myself. Now some of us had a little bit more of a wild ride than others. I knew I stopped here for a reason. You alright, mate? I'll give you a hand, man. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's light as a feather when there's 3 of us. These yas. You okay? Ready, 1, 2, 3. That's his crash of the day right there. But everyone was happy to help each other out, and eventually we all made it up to this beautiful lookout. So once we'd all seen enough of this lookout, guys, it was back down the mountain, back to the resort where we'd all kick back for the night, rest up, have a good feed, and all be ready for tomorrow's full-on adventure. Good morning, everybody. Day 2 of this Endeavour adventure. Obviously day 1 yesterday was a bit of training, skills enhancement, and some drills with a little bit of a trail ride in the Arvo. Today is just full adventure, so I think it's around 200 kilometers we got today. Full adventure ride around here in this beautiful area. It's going to be sick. I've had brekkie. I'm just heading down here to meet up with everyone, and we'll shoot off very shortly, but should be in for a good day. So something a bit different for me, guys. Doing the corner man system here, so no GPS, even though I've got it tracking where we're headed. Just doing the corner man system, which is obviously we've got Kai as the lead rider, and whoever ends up behind him at a corner, he'll point to the corner and get you to stay there and wait until everyone's through and the sweep rider catches up, and then you continue on, next person to the next corner, so on and so forth. So my job now is just to sit here and wait for the sweep, and then we're off again. Bring the XR, mate. Come for a spin. Bring the XR for a spin.
good example of what we'll look out for.
That's why you keep left, hey?
They were on our left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like pumping the brakes like that, like move over. Like, I'm over in the leaf litter doing these ones on the left hand, like trying to like point at the bike, says more coming.
They're pretty good when I come through, so
Yeah, hopefully they got on the
yeah.
two ways. They've been talking to each other.
Yeah, they were all over that side when I come through.
Sweet.
So I am a corner man again here, guys. This is where we are, Willy Willy National Park. And if you can see that with this GoPro, the street sign there is Cockera-Wombeeba. Cockera-Wombeeba. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Road. Anyway, that's where we are. We're continuing on this way towards Racecourse Trail. But it's beautiful up here. There's been some bushfires through in the last few years. All these trees are all charred, but they're coming back. So it had been a great morning so far out on the trails, guys. Pretty dusty, as you would have seen in the footage, but that doesn't make it any less fun, that's for sure. We all called into this campground just off the side of the track, had a short break, and we also got a little bit of a history lesson on the local area from Kai. And then it was back on the bikes, head down the track a short ways to a few water crossings. We'd pull up at one of them and Kai would run a bit of a coaching session there with a few different techniques and ways to tackle water crossings. And then a bunch of the guys just jumped on into it, got their reps up and just hit this water crossing a few times and had plenty of fun. Feels so much like some of the high plains areas down in the high country in Victoria. Looks so similar terrain. It's cool. All here in the middle of New South Wales. Definitely going to have to plan my own trip down here and check out all these tracks through this area. There's so much and I haven't really ridden a whole lot. So put it on the calendar.
Motocross track through after the creek crossing. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Typical
GoPro stuffed up as soon as we left there, so that was like the best bit and it didn't even work. Oh, no. So once again, it was that time of day, guys, time for a lunch stop, and the team at Endeavour put on an absolutely awesome spread once again so we could all fill ourselves up for the afternoon of riding. Now obviously when adventure riding, guys, the riding is the main course, that's what you're out there to do. But secondary to that, I really love these times where you're just sitting around with a good bunch of people, having an absolute laugh about nothing really.
He's just hoping he runs out so the hippie commune comes and
oh no, the closest help is the hippie commune.
Oh, so those nice ladies.
You're going to spill this everywhere, aren't you?
Have you heard my mushy story?
No.
They're just about to head off again. Beautiful lunch there by the team. It's beautiful, couple of wraps, so I'm sorted. Still in the Werrikimbe National Park, so I think we'll start making our way down southwest sort of direction. I'm thinking, I don't exactly know, but that's where I think we're heading to complete the loop. Should be some fun. So not too long after lunch, guys, we were treated to this absolutely beautiful section of track. Beautiful open farmlands here. You could see the view for kilometres. It was absolutely beautiful. Could really keep up some speed and have plenty of fun. But the scenery changed multiple times throughout the day on this ride, so it wasn't too much further down the track, and we were diving into some more heavily overgrown bush areas.
Message saying there's a bike breakdown.
That was fun, that last bit.
Yeah, that's sick. Couldn't really see the track because all the leaves and stuff. And
The leaves are trippy. I was following Jay for the first bit with Justin, and the leaves are all just going. What bike was it?
I don't know. I'd say it's a DR650. It's been running a bit rough for the weekend. So
back on the move again. Unfortunately, yeah, one of the boys' bikes has had to go onto the trailer, and I think it's the DR650. So I'll be interested to hear what happened there. Surely you can't kill a DR, can you? A few more trails to get through before we get back today. Let's see what we got. Steve-O on the CF Moto. Whoa, that branch was solid. Into the jungle. Don't stand up too high on that one. Lose your head. Loving these tracks today. Had a bit of everything. Like obviously this isn't single track stuff, but there are sections where it gets tight and there's only sort of one way you can go really anyway. But obviously it used to be a twin track car road, but you don't use much now. It's good fun.
there, eh?
Yeah, that's a good track, man. I like it. That's a sad sight, mate. A Suzuki on a trailer. What's going on here?
Well, mate, I tried to bump it, she wouldn't go. Second gear. But this broke here too, so unless it's jammed something up in there.
Yeah. So guys, after ripping through those awesome trails there with the overgrown bush area, we popped out here right next to the Oxley Highway, and it was only a short run down that highway back to the resort. But luckily enough for myself and a few others, Kai had a bit of a breakout section ready to go on the way back. It was set to be a little bit more challenging than the riding we'd done throughout the day so far, so I was keen to get into it and have a go and get my final fix of adventure before the day was over.
cool was that?
Mate, I'm thirsty now. It's a bit of hard work. Jeez. That was good. Huh?
It's all over now.
Thanks, mate. That was a good track. Come on.
That was a good ender.
It's all over. Pull your pants up.
Well, Two Wheel Adventurers, that's the end of this unreal weekend of riding here at the first ever MXstore Ride More Adventures. Massive thanks to the MXstore crew for letting me tag along for the weekend, and a massive shout out to Kai and the rest of the Endeavour Motorcycle Tours team. They put on an awesome event, and myself and the rest of the riders had an absolute ball. Be sure to check out all the links below in the video's description for more info on future Ride More Adventure events, and also check out some of the other rides that Endeavour have ready to go for next year. There's something for everyone, and they can even cater to your own private tour if that's something you're after. If you want to support the channel, guys, jump over to the website, grab some merch, donate to my Buy Me a Coffee page, or even grab yourself a GPX file from one of my other adventures. You guys keep these adventures rolling, so I appreciate any and all your support. Thanks again, and ride safe out there on your own two-wheel adventures.